welcome to a little taster video just to get a feel of what my video classes will entail. So this is a shorter video. The other videos when you accept a membership will probably be about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour classes, 75-minute classes, and some nice short snippets as well, which I will be updating once a week. And so you'll have some tricks for like sleeping, little hacks to be able to help you to get to sleep easier. We have some yin classes, mandala, rockets, vinyasa flows, and I'll try my best to cater them and keep them as fresh and updated with new poses, with different focus points and all that jazz. So this is your little taster video. It will be a linear vinyasa flow. So of course it won't have as many poses as the other ones will have, so it will have a little bit of some warm-ups, heated flows, some postures, and then we'll bring it down and close up. So we're going to begin today with a little bit of a meditation, just about a minute or so, taking your hand onto your knees, come to a seat however is comfortable for you. For this practice I tend to use 2 blocks and a bolster. If you feel that you want to use straps, maybe you could find something at home that is like a towel or something. You can go into deeper stretches that way. If you don't have any blocks at home, some books also works. And then just closing down the eyes, you can sit on a cushion or on a bolster, lengthening through the spine, softening the shoulders and relaxing the face. Just come to a natural rhythm of breath. Try not to overthink about it, try not to control it. Just gently observing the thought patterns, softness in your face. Maybe setting an intention for your practice today. Not quite sure what that means. It could be a reason why you showed up for the mat. Maybe you would like to shift something in your life that you no longer need to hold on to. Perhaps you want to dedicate it to a word for somebody else as an offering. Sitting with that thought process, that intention, bringing your hands together, bowing down to start your practice. And just thanking yourself for showing up. Thanking your body for these incredible changes it makes for us. And just bringing the hands back to center. We're just going to do a few circles with the neck, keeping your chin towards the chest. Allow the back of the neck to stretch. Breathing in the back of the neck muscles, the shoulders. Drop the left ear towards the left shoulder, breathe into the right. Exhale as the head comes to the back of the neck, breathing through the front of the throat. Right ear comes towards the right shoulder. Bringing the chin back towards the chest to let the head feel heavy. Breathing in and out through the nose. Now the other direction, right ear towards right shoulder. Dropping the head back. Left ear towards left shoulder. Bring the chin back to center. And just bring your head up. Let the head come all the way back, arch the back, puff up the chest so the heart sings up to the front. Exhale, chin towards your chest, round through the spine, look towards the belly. Some cat-cows in a seated position, dropping the shoulders back, opening up through the chest, looking up. Exhale, chin towards your chest, puffing through the upper back and the middle back. Breathing in. Breathing out, pushing the shoulders away to the front. Making some big circle movements from the belly. So you really want to have this action of moving from the center of the belly, as if you were massaging your belly, your intestines, with this movement with the breath, activating the area of action, then adding some movements into the other circle. You can also bring the shoulders in more, warming them up. Just having a little bit of movement. Bring the hands into center, elbows together, interlace the fingertips, and then create some figure 8 shapes. My wrists are not clicking so much as the bracelets. And then through the other direction. Yeah, nice. It's actually a lot easier to do this practice without any jewelry. I've gotten very used to it. So then shake out anything that you don't feel that you need, maybe some stiffness in the physical body, but it could also be something mental that you would like to shake today. So removing your cushion or your bolster, placing it on the side for later. We're going to start with a few sun salutations. So coming to the front of the mat, squaring of the hips by having the feet about hip width apart. Find a nice tall Tadasana. So just as the Samastiti, the hands next to the hips. Breathing in, open through that chest, arching through that back. Roll the shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold, hinge over the hips. Take the hand onto the floor, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, forward fold at the head for the belly. Place the right foot back and come into a low lunge, placing the hands to front that left foot. Breathe in for one breath, open up through that low lunge. Exhale, place the hands back onto the floor, step back into a plank. Bring the knees down towards the ground, chest and chin. Slide forwards to baby cobra, that's your first vinyasa. Open up to the chest, push through the toes, untuck the toes, and send the hips back towards the heels. Send the hips all the way up into your downward facing dog, lengthen through the spine. Find lengthening through from the tailbone, maybe bending the knees for your first downward facing dog. Wrapping those shoulders together, lengthening through that spine. Place the right foot between the hands, plant the back heel down, warrior one, breathe in. Breathe out, place the hand onto the floor, step that left foot next to the right. Uttanasana, your forward fold. Take the hands by the sides, open up. Look past the fingertips, arch the back slightly, exhale, bring the hands back into center. Samastiti, bring the hands back towards the hips. Breathe in, open up through the chest, look up, arch to the back, squeeze the glutes and bend the knees if you need. Exhale, forward fold, hands onto the floor or onto 2 blocks. Find lengthening as you breathe. Send the weight into the toes and the fingertips. Exhale, allow the head to feel heavy. Place that left foot behind you, lower the left knee down, breathing in, squeeze through the feet, lengthen up into a low lunge, open through that chest. Exhale, place the hands back onto the floor and step back into your plank. If you're ready for option 2, Vinyasa, keep the knees high, halfway plank, chaturanga. Breathe in, up dog, open through that chest. Exhale, roll over the toes and send the hips back up, down, facing dog. Taking a moment or two here just to find that grounding through the lengthening through the back of the heels all the way up through the pelvis. Wrapping the shoulders together and softening the chest. Place the left foot between the hands, right heel comes down. Breathe in into your warrior one. Breathe out, place the hands back onto the floor, step the next foot to meet the left. Breathe in, halfway lift, flatten the back, shift the weight in the toes. Exhale, bring the hands down, release. This time we're going to come to a chair, so squeeze the feet together if that feels good for you. Send the hips down as if you're sitting in a chair, Utkatasana. Send the legs nice and straight and bring the hands back to Samastiti. Nice. Breathe in, open through that chest, arch through that back. Exhale, come into your chair pose, Utkanasana. Bring the ribs in for 1, 2, 3. Place the hands onto the floor or onto 2 blocks. Halfway lift, shift the weight forward. You can always come up onto the fingertips to create a bit more space. So send the weight into the toes and the fingertips. Bring the knees towards the chest. Jump, step up, float back into chaturanga. Breathe in. Open up through up dog. You can always do a Vinyasa option 1 if you need. Send the hips back down to facing dog. You can either step forwards or walk forwards or come up onto the toes, bend the knees into the belly, jump step or float to the front of the mat. Halfway lift, exhale, release the neck, let the head feel heavy. Squeeze through those feet, the heels come together, squeeze into Yogateacher for 3 breaths. 1, pass the fingertips is where the drishti, the focus is. 2, 3, straighten the legs, bring the hands to the side, Samasthiti. Breathe in, 1 more round, look up. Exhale, bring the hands back down towards the ground. Inhale, halfway lift. Now, so you can either come through a Vinyasa however you want, you can just jump back. You can come through a crow, bending the elbows, so the knees come either above the elbows or up towards the armpits, which is crane, but then the elbows are straight. Depends. I'm going to do a crow, looking forwards. If this is the first time you want to practice, you can bring a block underneath the third eye space, the space between the eyebrows, and a block horizontal, where the toes come onto the block. This will help with lifting you up, as you build strength. Fingertips are nice and wide, you bend the elbows. Maybe use this block as a second sort of stance, so it works as to help you with fear, overcoming your fear. Maybe with the block you lift up one toe then the other, so you can practice with that. You can either jump back into a plank from here, maybe 1 foot at a time, and come into chaturanga. Let's all breathe in to lift up. If you're not already in downward facing dog, just taking a few breaths there. 2 breaths. Exhale through the mouth. In through nose. Last one. Inhale. Prepare, lift up the heels. Exhale, bring the knees towards the chest. Inhale, look between the hands. And jump, exhale as you land. Halfway lift. Exhale, release. Take your feet back into your Yogateacher. 2 breaths. Sink a bit lower, maybe come up onto the toes. 3. And then lengthen through the spine, bring the hands towards the side, Samasthiti. Nice, so we're going to start our flow now. This is our warm-up. Bringing our hands back up. Exhale, come back to that chair pose, sink the hips further, bring the ribcage in, shorten the space between the hips and the ribs. Exhale, bring your hands onto the floor, optional transition, or just step back through your Vinyasa and meet me in downward facing dog. Crow people, if you have a headstand, bringing the head towards the ground, lifting those heels up, knees in center, find your focus, bring the knees together first, hold. When you have your stability, lengthen the legs up. For 1, ribs close to the hips. 2, 3. So you can jump and float back into your chaturanga, but landing the foot and the head up at the same time. Exhale, bring the hips back down and facing the back. Step the foot between the hands, plant the back heel down, warrior. Exhale, open into warrior 2 as a 1 breath transition. We hold here for 3 breaths. In, out. Grounding through your feet. 2, look past the middle plate, space between fingertips. 3, flip your palm with your hand forwards, reverse your warrior, find the hand behind you, or you can find the crease of the hip at the back. If that was quite accessible yet, you can just take hold of the pelvis. Try not to arch the back and find the space in the ribcage so you find a stretch from the hips, ribs to the armpits, all the way up to the fingertips. Last breath, maybe come up onto the toes, pressing into that back heel. Nice, bring your hands back into center. Bring the top hand on the inside and lengthen through that left arm, open up through into side extended angle here. 1, 2, 3, place the hand onto the inside of your foot, twisting here, lifting up that back heel, breathing in, looking up towards the ceiling for 1, 2, and 3. Place the hands onto the floor, step back, lifting that back leg up, come through Vinyasa, breathe in to rise, breathe out, send the hips back down, facing up. 3 breaths here, in. You can always come into child's pose, have a sip of water if you need. Not try and keep that focus, that attention on your breath. Place the left foot between the hands, plant that back heel down, squaring the hips up into warrior 1. Breathing in here for 1, 2, open up into your warrior 2, 3 breaths, 1, 2, looking at the middle finger, keeping your focus, don't forget about that back arm, lowering a bit deeper, 3, flipping the palm, reach your hand forward, reverse the warrior, maybe find a crease behind you, find space here for 1, 2, 3. Let's come back into center and then bring your left hand onto inside and then find that top hand to your side extended angle. 1, 2, 3. Placing your right hand on the inside of the foot, pivot on the back heel, twisting here for 1, 2, 3. Placing both hands down. Really push the floor away. So imagine it's like a mountain climber as you step back. Maybe that back leg stays lifted and your knee stays lifted as you flow through your chaturanga, up dog, open for that back space. Exhale, down facing. So we're going to do 5 breaths here. You can either stay 5 breaths in your down dog, come onto a dolphin pose, which is where you're working on your forearms, perhaps walking the feet a bit closer. If you need to bend your knees to lengthen through the spine and lift up through the shoulders, please do, so that your strength is being built underneath the elbows and the shoulders. Finding your focus in one place for 5 breaths. We'll also demonstrate some options for some inversions. If you know what you're doing and you want to have a play, please feel free to do so, just be mindful. You can use a wall. So for a dolphin, you can also work with strengthening in dolphin, which is what we've just done when you're on your forearms, with the block in between the hands like so. So you're squeezing, you're working on the lats here, so you're working with, that's this area here, which tends to be stronger in men, so it's always easier for them to seem to be going into inversions. But it's not that it's impossible for us, we're just working on that strength and that stretch there. So squeezing into the block. That's an option for 5 breaths. Not bring your fingertips together if you want to work on either a pincher or headstand. So if you have a headstand and you want to move into pincher, I actually have started myself with the knee, with the foot rather, together and my head on the floor and then lifting up through the transition of the headstand. And then maybe you can come into any variation. Which 5 breaths. So those are the options. You can also just do a standard headstand where you interlace the hands like this, the back of the head cups into the space. Fingertips are not crossed over, they're spied to the sides. Elbows nice and close in, keeping the head in. Maybe you just want to work with getting used to being upside down, so the thighs come close towards the ribs. And maybe bend one knee. Find that focus. Try not to jump. No injuries here. And then you lengthen up. So this will do 5 breaths. Inhale and then exhale to prepare, arrive in your inversion or child's pose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gently bringing your knees together towards your chest, rounding through the spine, and coming down gently. You've been in an inversion, you can stack your fists on top, allowing a release in the neck to flow. If you've been in a child's pose for a little while, your knees have been wide and your arms have been forward, you could perhaps bring the knees together and then bring the hands towards the glutes, towards the hips, and rounding the chin towards the chest, so the top of the head comes towards the ground, rounding through the upper back. Just choose wherever you wanted to choose. I'd like to start a little bit of a meditation. We're about halfway through our taster class. Just calming down, a little bit of meditation here. At first we just allow the breath to slow down, connecting back to your intention. It's a lovely spot to have a sip of water. Try not to gulp. Just notice how you lose control when you come off the mat and get distracted. Try and keep that focus and that presence during and after the class. And Shodhana, bringing the right thumb towards the right nose, breathing in through the left. You can watch me first. Breathing in. And swapping over with the ring finger, exhaling through the right. In through the right. Out through the left. In through the left. Out through the right. In through the right. Out through the left. Left. Right. In right. Out left. In left. Out right. Right. Left. Left. Right. Right. Left. Left. Right. And then gently coming through a normal rhythm of breath. On my other videos, after clicking on the memberships, I will be introducing more detailed information on what the benefits are from that lovely breath practice. Right, so we're just going to come into a little bit of balancing before we come into our floor work. So sending the hips up into your downward facing dog. Just measuring out that space by taking yourself into plank. Right leg lifts up towards the sky, bend the knee, open up through that hip. Step the foot between the hands and come up through a high lunge, bringing the hands up, the back heel lifts up towards the sky. You can either have your hands in prayer or up, whatever suits you. And then bring the weight into that right foot, lifting that left knee up. You can always bring the toe into the ground, squeezing and bending through that right knee. Being here for 3 breaths, this could be plenty. Or taking your right hand into the hip and lengthening through that left leg. 2. And 3. Gently bring the foot on the inside of the shin. Find your focus. Inside of the ankle, shin, thigh, or half lotus if that's where you would like to go today. With 3 breaths in. Grounding through the feet, bending through the right knee, looking at one point. 2 and 3. Gently place the knee back, Float back, hold into your warrior 3. 1, 2, and 3. Take the hands onto the floor, place that back foot down. Optional vinyasa. You can always lower the knees down, chest and chin. Slide forward, breathe in, lift up the chest, open up through that chest. Take the hands a little bit wider, cactus shape the arms out, breathing in, breathing out, exhale. Bring the hands slightly more back, roll the shoulders open. Exhale, roll down. Last one. Exhale. Take the hands underneath the chest, send the hips back through child's pose if you wish, and then a downward facing dog. Nice. Take the left leg up high, bend the knee, open up through that hip. Step the foot between the hands, come up into that high lunge, open up through that chest. Exhale, take the hands into center, shift the weight into that left foot. Lift up that right knee, bend through the left foot, stay there if you need, or if you need to lengthen out, do it. Just try to keep the head stacked above the shoulders, above the hips above the ankles. I don't have so much space here, but 1, 2, 3, gently release. Find a tree pose. Remember, you can always place the ankle down onto the floor, onto the heel. 2, 3. Gently release, bring that knee back to center, and then warrior 3. Remember, keeping the hands into center. Find that shift, keep the focus, ground the feet. Create a capital T shape, just sending that right hip down and the leg back is still active. 2, and then gently place it back down. Optional vinyasa, leg can stay lifted, chaturanga. Breathe in, breathe out. Child's breath. 2 breaths in. 2, 3. 'Gently come back up. Bring yourself back onto your lower back. Pull the lower spine down, take hold of the back of the thighs if that feels good. And breathing here. The legs across each other. Shuffle the hips towards the right hand side. You could use your left toes for that, and then drop the knees to the side. Take the hands in a cactus shape or a T shape out. And look towards the right hand shoulder. So this is your supine twist. If that's too much, always bring the knees on top of each other. If you're not feeling anything, extend the right foot so the right leg is straight. Left knee is bent. You're taking hold of the right foot with your left hand. You're taking hold of your left with the right hand, looking over the right hand shoulder just for a couple more breaths. Breathing through the belly, the middle chamber of the chest, and exhaling through your chest. Last one. Belly, middle, chest, exhale, chest, middle, belly. Release gently, use the left hand to press the foot into center. Take the left foot onto the floor, shuffle the hips into center, and bring the knees on in a bend and the feet closer in towards the hips. Take the hands over the knees and open through the chest. And gently place the feet onto the floor, shuffle the hips towards the left hand side, and come into your supine the other direction. So again, you can have the knees stacked above each other. They can be in line with the hips. So you're creating a 90-degree shape here, and the feet are in line with the knees. If you'd like to cross the legs over, maybe hooking the left foot underneath the right ankle. Maybe you're in a cactus shape with the elbows looking towards the left elbow. Again, if you want to come in twisted roots, you extend through that left leg, take hold on the outside of that left foot. Bend the right knee and take hold of the right foot, looking over, feeling a depth and stretch for 3 breaths in. Breathing all the way down to the belly, exhaling fully. 2 more in. Exhaling slower out. Last one. And out. And gently releasing, using the hands to push the hips up. Use the foot to square your hips back in the center, and then come into a happy baby. So bending the knees in towards the chest, take hold of the knees close towards the armpits, spread the legs out. If your lower back doesn't come off the floor, then you can lift the feet up. Maybe take hold of the back of the knees, keeping that back grounded. If you'd like to go further, you take hold of the outside of the feet. Draw the knees closer towards the armpits and draw the shoulders down towards the ground. Open through the hips, maybe shuffle the hips from right to left to release any tension in the hips. Opening up through that pelvis. Gently bring the feet back into center. Draw the knees out towards the floor and come into a butterfly pose. So taking the elbows on the ground, take a hand onto the thighs and lift up through the elbows, pressing the hands behind you. Perhaps if you find that your lower back is rounding, take a block underneath the hips and send the hand hips up higher to elevate. Maybe bringing the knees closer towards the ground, lengthening through that spine, take hold of the feet or the ankles. Roll the shoulders back and breathe through a nice straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Maybe taking the hands slightly forward, you don't have to go too far. If you do have the space, of course, you don't need to be in a block, but try to avoid rounding in the lower back, rounding through the shoulders, and then exhale, forward fold to wherever feels good in the body. 3 breaths here, in, out, 2, out, 3, and gently release. Pressing the feet together, roll the feet up into center, knees come towards the floor. Lovely. Nice, and then we're just going to roll all the way back down. Right, take a block with you. If you want to find yourself into a bridge posture, you can come into a restorative bridge or an active bridge. Pressing the feet into the floor, lift up the hips so the hips come up towards the sky. Place the block either on the highest or the lowest setting into the lower pelvis. Hands onto the floor, you can either rest there or the feet can come up for 3 breaths. Wherever you are, take your choice, exhale as you prepare and arrive here for 1. Maybe extend the legs if you are restorative. 2, 3, using the heels to press the feet back, peel the spine all the way up, and then roll the hips all the way back down. Right, use the hands onto the floor, lift the legs up, push the hands so that the legs come behind you into plow pose. If you've never done plow or shoulder stand, I recommend having a look first and then we come in together. Bend the knees and open up through the chest, looking towards the navel. Don't move the neck. This is your plow. Maybe your feet don't come to find the floor. 1, 2, 3. Extending through the legs, take the hands on the pelvis. The elbows work as a support system. Lift one leg, then the other. Squeezing the thighs, stacking the hips above the shoulders. Look towards the feet. Keep the neck in one place for 3 breaths in, out, 2, and 3. Gently come the same way you came in, bringing the knees towards the head. The hands work as brakes. Roll the spine super slowly down and let the feet stack above the hips, gently creating that L shape. Pause here, flattening through the lower back so there's no space here. Really pushing the ribs closer towards the ground. Take the hands as brakes, we lower down for 5, 4, squeezing in the thighs, 3, keep that lower back, press 2, and 1. Gently release. Just take another more breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. So using those elbows to lift yourself up into the forearms. Find the hands underneath the hips, elbows underneath the shoulders. Point the feet together, point the toes. Lift up the chest. Exhale as you drop the head behind you, open through the throat, round the shoulders back. 3 breaths in, out, in, out. And then gently chin towards the chest, elbows out. Take your whole body onto the floor. Let's take a deep breath in. Stretch your arms up, open, stretch, stretch, stretch. Exhale, release. Take a blanket, cushions, eye patch, anything for you to have a couple minutes in Shavasana. Your final resting pose, taking a connection to the feet, focusing on the muscles around the heels, underneath the soles of the feet. All these muscles relaxing. Taking your attention up to your shins, to your calves, everything softening. Awareness travels up through the thighs, the hips, all the tissue, all the cells, everything in your body is relaxed, soothing. Your hips are smooth, heavy and supported by the ground. The ribs are soft, the shoulders are relaxed, the hands are relaxed. Your lungs are supported by your ribs, and your throat is softening with each breath. Your tongue lies heavy, the lower part of the teeth. Lower part of the jaw, there's space between the upper and lower teeth. Space between the eyebrows is soft, the back of the skull is supported. I'll leave you in the last minute of silence, and then we end the class together. Gently bringing some awareness back into the body, intuitively moving your body. So it could be your fingertips, or maybe it's a full body stretch, maybe it's the wrists. Maybe it's a big stretch and you're releasing that tension in the face, if there is anything left, and then gently raise the heels as you walk the feet closer towards the body, the knees coming to your center. Roll yourself to the left side of the body, pausing yourself here. No rush in getting back up, try and keep your mindfulness on and off the mat. Using the top hand to press yourself into the floor, find yourself in a seat. Cross-legged, shins, anything that feels comfortable. Rolling your shoulders back, lengthening through the spine. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Into center, bowing down to seal of your practice, connecting back with your intention. Thank you very much for practicing this beautiful practice with me. Thank yourself for showing up, for trying something new. And I'm very grateful for you discovering my platform. If there's anything that you would like to work on specifically, please feel free to drop me a message, or if there's any questions for any of these classes or any tweaks, feedbacks, let me know. Thank you.